Hey guys, how's it going? 12:50 a.m. on Sunday, September 16th, 2018. So let me get this microphone a little closer if I can, because it's late and I don't want to be too loud. Okay. And I'm watching the microphone here, so this is you might be thinking, what the hell, is this guy insane or what? Or is his ego too high, or is he too full of himself, or I don't know what. You might be thinking that, but I can tell you right now, I'm just trying to keep my voice down so my son can sleep. It was bad enough. I was coming home and well, we were out all day. We were doing I'm watching the volume here just to make sure everything's okay. So today I was out trying to test my ATCS equipment, and over in London, Ontario, actually. And yeah, didn't work too well, but we still had a fun day. Things were good, and hopefully I'm not too loud. I'm not disturbing anybody upstairs. I don't think I would be. So it was really cool. It was the ATCS testing didn't go, but I did accomplish a few things. Found out a few things about what was going on. I talked to my son about different ideas, and you know, we were talking about how, you know, some of my fellow rail fans, they prefer different locations because they like to videotape and take pictures and all that. And I said, you know, I got a video camera too, and I says, maybe we can do that. Maybe that could boost our YouTube video stuff, and you know, maybe we could do that. So you know, my mind's always thinking of different ways that I can boost the channel, and you know, and I said, editing isn't so bad, you know. And he kind of thought, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. And so we had a lot of time today. We saw a lot of trains too, which is kind of cool for this area, let's say, or for Southern Ontario. Didn't see any Canadian Pacific, but we did see CN. We saw a grain train come in, but this isn't what this is about. It's something much more important and close to me, and has probably been, you would think Run 8 was my passion, but Run 8 was never my passion. Run 8 was just the tool. Run 8 was just the way to get there. And Run 8 is going to continue to be that tool, because I found it. And you know, I'd be loud as hell right now. I would be, I can't tell you how happy I am that I found it. And I don't want to sound dramatic or anything like that. It's not in the bag. It's gonna have its challenges, but it is my goal again. RTS 2's back on the table, and it's not going to be about a dispatcher program. It's not really going to be necessarily about a 2D graphic yard program that I was talking about. What it's going to do, and I jokingly put the title, and I've jokingly said in the past about changing the world, that's literally what I'm going to do. Except not figuratively speaking, and not in the sense that I'm going to make a difference in massive people's lives, or really anybody, as long as I change my world. And it could change yours too, I don't know, but what I mean by that is the world save. And I never, you know, when I first did RTS 1, and I've actually thought about this many times. In fact, I had this idea. It was there, but then I never really put two and two together. And I swear I talked about this before. And I've stumbled on this a few times. I really have. I stumbled on it a little bit when I was thinking about this, oh, what do you call it? When I was doing the Sanford sub. And I was having the trains that were setting off, and I was having it so that it would automatically switch itself, or not switch itself, but it would automatically revert itself, or the industries were set up so that certain yard tracks would be able to do that. Well, that's great and all, but the problem with that was it never really did it properly. And I just started thinking a little bit deeper tonight. And it wasn't like I was thinking about this all day, because I really wasn't. I wasn't worried about run 8. 24 hours ago, or even less, when I was, or actually probably as early as this morning while my son slept while I got up early. And I had 9 hours sleep last night. I went to bed at midnight, woke up at 9 a.m. My son was still sleeping. It's 12:57 a.m. right now. I'm probably not going to get to sleep till 2 a.m. I planned on staying up a little later anyways, because I was going to communicate with a friend of mine and had some ideas about ATCS. I mean, I've had a lot of different ideas today. I can't tell you how many cool ideas that I have moving forward, between ATCS, between doing some video. There's a lot of things now that suddenly, the possibilities, I mean, there's like at least 3 major possibilities. One really isn't going to affect anybody but myself and a few others near me in the area, and that has to do with ATCS. The other would affect my YouTube channel, maybe viewership, and that had to do with, you know, trying to get out there and do a little bit more prototypical video. I don't know if I'll do that or not. That's originally that was going to be the big plan out of today, because I was thinking, yeah, you know, I was talking to my son and he kind of liked the idea of doing it, and we still might do it just because it would be something fun for us to do. But then the big idea came, and I mean, I can feel my heart rate right now. It's just up. It's so freaking excited. And I had this long, 2-hour, or just under 2-hour drive home tonight, when your son, he wants to get to, he wanted me to turn the radio off, and so I turned the radio off, and it's very quiet. It's just me, the road. I was on Highway 403. I was already off the 401. I was I was past London. I was past Woodstock. Because he went to sleep around Woodstock. So I have 1 hour at this point. Now it's just 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. right now. The background changed, and I don't need to go any further into this, and I'll post a message after I finish this quick little vlog thingy-majiggy. But oh man, my heart rate is so freaking high right now. This is so awesome. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm like, dang, why couldn't I think of this before? And now the only thing I'm thinking is, damn it, this thing's got to work. It's got to work. And it may not be perfect, but it is sure the hell gonna beat the hell what the heck Run 8 is right now, I can tell you that. And it's not about to be Run 8, right? It's going to use Run 8. I said it before, it's going to use Run 8. And I'm fortunate enough to have the XML still be there. This is going to use the XML. Fortunately, it's in the world file, and fortunately, it's in the train save files. That's the only XML that's available. From what I understand, that XML became available from what I understand, the Run 8 guys were nice enough to keep that open so that it would be compatible with RTS. I have never put a version 2 out there for the simple reason that once the AI was in place and once the various controls were in place, it wasn't necessary. It was also more difficult to do proper, what do you call it? Proper, believe it or not, I'm tired, but I'm excited. And I don't feel tired. I'm just, obviously my brain's trying to think of these things. And no, I'm not delusional or delirious or anything like that. I'm perfectly clear-thoughted and probably exhausted and excited, and it's just like, man, the last hour, just the thinking, and it's just like, yeah, I can get this to work. I can finally get this to work. And it's something that I look forward to doing. Why? Because I don't care. It doesn't matter. This isn't a money incentive anymore. Yeah, I can tell you right now, you're damn right I'm going to be trying to push this for some money. And honestly, I could care less if I sell one copy. I honestly mean that. You want it? Pay for it. If you're a friend of mine, I might give you a free copy. I got a few people in mind. They're gonna get some gifts. Everybody else, hey, I'll let people beta test this. You know, Scott, Ski, they're gonna get free copies of this. Damn right they are. Maybe some others too. I mean, I don't want to give away all my copies. But yeah, I'll have some beta testers. Because this is going to change the way, as far as I'm concerned, from my perspective, Run 8 is going to change forever from this point. And I'm going to finally have the simulator. I won't have the AI dispatcher. That's because I have no now. Is it possible? You're damn right it's possible. Where's the external dispatcher, guys? Isn't the external dispatcher more important than whatever little car forwarding ideas that I have in mind? More people can use the external dispatcher than what I have to offer. I would say 5% give a rat's ass about what I'm thinking about right now. That's the truth. I'm a micro niche of a niche. I've said that from the beginning. And I know my voice is raising because I'm excited. Hopefully my son's sleeping. He's got a fan in there, so hopefully he doesn't hear me, but calm down. Oh, I got some water here. Yeah. Drink. Oh man. No, I'm not drunk either. This is water. I have not had anything to drink tonight. I've just been driving, okay? I'm high, and I'm not high on I'm high on life, I'm high on expectations, I'm high on finally. And I haven't even wrote a line of code to this because I know it's going to work. And if it's not perfect, that's okay. I'm going to get it to work one way or another. Even if it's not perfect, it's going to do something. And I'm going to work my butt off to see this done. Even if it's at small scale, I don't care. So how is this going to play out? The proving ground's going to start out in Bakersfield, probably Bakersfield Yard. I might even work with a smaller yard. And you might be thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Changing the world. This guy's a freaking egomaniac, you're probably thinking. No, hold on. Yeah, changing the world. But changing the world was, I threw that out there. You know, wanting to change the world, wanting to change simulation, wanting to do this, wanting to do that. I just want to change my world. And maybe I get lucky enough to make a little bit of money and get my confidence up and do some things and really create something that I can totally be proud of. Because I was proud of RTS. I accomplished a lot with RTS. Make no mistake about it, okay? It wasn't a pretty program. It never was supposed to be a pretty program, but it did what it was supposed to do. It didn't keep up with all the changes that happen in Run 8, but I can make this one even better. I've learned a few things of how to make it better. Learned a few, mistakes, get away from my spaghetti code that I had in RTS 1. But like I said, what is this about? So, this is all about, if you're a single player or if you're a server and you are running, let's say, I'm going to use Scott. How's it going, Scott? You're going to like this. Scott's going to like this because Scott's going to get to beta test this thing. Just like I'm going to beta test this. And the beautiful thing about this is, despite the fact that Scott likes the idea of having a lot of other people out there and having, a variety of tasks and all that thing, well, yeah, there is going to be a variety of tasks and there's going to be a variety of things that are going to take place. The cool thing about this is the world is going to, I don't know as far as about the mainline trains and the positions and all that other stuff. I'm not 100% sure about that. I may go so far as to create world spawns and leave it at that. But so I may still create the train spawns like I used to with RTS version 1. If you guys are familiar with that, basically what it did was through a 24-hour period it created the trains, all the trains. It's going to do things differently this time because I've already talked about doing a different waybill system. So hopefully my microphone's not too close to this and everything's sounding good. I'm watching this very carefully here. The microphone's still in my hand, so because I didn't think I was going to be speaking as loud, but at this point I don't care. So what happens is, if you're a Scott or whatever and you've done some work during the day and people may join your server, or people may not join your server, and you save your world. What's going to happen is you're going to save your world, you're going to shut down Run 8. But RTS2 is still going to be running. And RTS2 is going to be going through a time AI system that will continue to call in new trains, that will create new trains, that will call new waybills, that will do everything, including switch your yards. Just like I said that I wanted RTS to become. The yard, I called it the yard subsystem at one time that I was thinking about doing as far as a 2D graphic. I wanted to make it, I wanted to fill in that void where the people who you know, number one, some of these worlds are getting freaking huge, especially LA. So I wanted to be able to get in there and find a way so that a single player can feel as though they are part of a changing world. Hence, I'm going to change the world. That world save is going to update itself either continuously on an ongoing basis throughout the day, throughout the night as you sleep, when your server's down, when people aren't on your server and things are boring and you want to keep trains moving, trains that would service yards, trains that would hump, trains that would do all kinds of things. You want to continue to have that keep going. It's going to continue to do the work for you because it's going to take in new trains that come in by supply. Not only will it do that, but it'll also go into the yards and it'll figure out how trains will be switched. It'll figure out the blocking. It'll figure out when it's going to set off, where it's going to pick up, what cars are going to go where, what order they're going to come out in, everything. It'll rebuild the trains. It will leave the yard. When you come back in, when you wake up or when you come back or you're at work or whatever happens, you come back in, your world has changed. Because you load the saved world into Run 8 and everything has changed. You continue to progress. Cars are in different places. You have different things going on, you know, different scenarios. Basically, it's just like almost like a scenario generator. You can start in the morning if you like, you know, certain jobs. Say you like a particular job that you like running, and you know, all of a sudden there's a few more cars of this, or there's another train that came in late or was delayed or whatever, and he's holding off or whatever. I don't know all the details of everything yet. All I do know is that the trains themselves will progress and be part of it. So if you're actually live in the session, then you can play out the session as if everything is fine. But then if you want to basically stop running and let the AI take over, that's where you stop doing Run 8 and you go to RTS, and RTS takes over for Run 8 because you no longer have the manpower available to do these things. It's the same dilemma that's happening on the Southwest server, where there's not enough not enough demand, so they can't go ahead and do things, blah blah blah. That's the same issue that I had when I was trying to do various server sessions, whatever. Now, is there challenges? Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of challenges. The one challenge is going to be able to get it to spawn, and I'm actually going to look for Ski for help on this one. I'm going to include right off the bat, Scott and Ski are going to be beta members of the RTS 2 team. They are going to get free copies. Scott's been very supportive. Ski, he's already been supportive. I mean, he basically gifted me LA, so he's going to get every benefit he can with that. Of course, I'm going to be picking his brain because he's the programming guy, and he knows a little bit more about the XML of the world save and how the because he dug into RTS 1 towards the end. So I'm going to pick his brain, and maybe he's going to help me out with that. I'm going to be the one that's going to be coding this. But the ideas that are now flowing through, I've seen the world. See, I was the reason why I didn't do the world save back in RTS 1. And believe me, I could have done it. What I did was I manually spawned them. And the reason why I manually spawned them is we didn't have AI trains. So we didn't need to do it. So an admin who had to go around and tag everything anyways wound up having to do it. That's the other thing that's going to happen. Not only, you're not going to have to rely on, you could rely on some tagging. But for the most part, you can tag yourself. You can do your own. You can basically have RTS do all the tagging for you. And the difference of that is, RTS has always been able to use a supply of empty cars. Run 8 in its current form does not use a supply of empty boxcars. So in other words, what happens is the boxcars get empty, they go back to a yard. This was one of the keys to RTS 1. That got lost. When when Run 8 version 2 came along, it got lost. It got lost with RTS 1. That's coming back. Because that's how a real railroad works. You have a boxcars, you unload them. They get, they might, they're supposed to get cleaned out for the last supplier. They are then available. That eliminates as many carloads. Now you can't do it with certain tanks, and you can't do it with things. I'm going to be relying on Scott's knowledge of railroads. I will be sending an email to both Scott and Ski immediately after this video is done, which is going to be very quickly, because I want to get this all cemented and going. This thing starts going tomorrow afternoon. I'm telling you that right now. Tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening at the latest. The RTS server, there is not going to be an RTS server. I'm not worried about an RTS server. The only thing that's going to be happening is I'm going to be testing the hell out of this damn thing. I might do this as a server between myself, Ski, and Scott to test it and see how it works for us and that. But really, it has nothing to do with multiplayer. It has to do with the background and the figuring out. It's going to create the trains. It's going to do it in real time. It can do it in real time while Run 8 is going. It'll have the trains. And yeah, on bigger ones, if you don't have enough people there, as far as I know, Mike over on Southwest server, and I don't want to start giving away copies all over the place. I don't think at this point, I got to be careful. But I think for now, Mike's going to do his thing, and Mike is doing his thing, and they're doing fine, and they're doing it their way. Scott and I, to be quite honest, we couldn't get together on some ideas. We started thinking about ideas. I mean, you look at the latest post on ideas on my forum. We could not get together. We couldn't think of how the heck we were going to, He had his way. He was more open-ended, didn't really want to go with a structure. And for me, I wanted a structure. I wanted something that I could sink my teeth into. But at the same time, I wanted something that I can count on. So I didn't know what was happening. I don't know if Scott was going to be on, off, whatever. I mean, yeah, I'd see a post and an email, but that wasn't working for me. I love to plan ahead, so. Anyways, it's 1:20 a.m. so I'm going to end this now. I'm going to get the emails out there. I'm going to post this message. I'm going to get this out of here and try to relax so I can get some sleep very soon if I can. But I'm all excited right now. I can't tell you how excited I am of this. Is there challenges ahead? Yes, there's going to be challenges in trying to get the not so much the world save file. I think that's doable. I have to take a look at things, but from what I recall from version 1 of Run 8, it wasn't too bad. I'll have to see how it lines up. Play around with it a little bit and basically see, because basically it's going to require a lot of data. I mean, you think about the number of cars and various trains that are set up all over the place. So yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's all data driven, and once you create a structure, all you're doing is repeating it. So I don't think it's going to be, it's certainly not going to be impossible, and I don't think it's going to be massively difficult either. I think this is all doable. Now, as far as Run 8 version 3, whatever they do is up to them. I'm focused on version 2. I'm focused on what we have right now. I have no idea what Run 8 version 3 is coming. I don't know what's coming down the road. I don't know what changes they have in mind. I don't know when external dispatcher is coming. I don't know when TSCAD is coming. I don't know any of that. I don't care. This is about what I have to do. This is about basically filling in that void that has been missing. It has nothing to do. I love the guys at Run 8. They've provided the tool. This is the engine. Run 8 is the engine. Run 8 is an awesome train simulator. It's perfect physics. Their AI, for what their AI does, is it runs perfectly. And it was, pretty much everything that we were hoping for. I mean, there were some things I was hoping for, but hey, you can only get so much, and they have to please a lot of people. So Run 8's done what they've had to do. I mean, are they a little quiet about what they're going to do and all that stuff? Sure. And I'm pretty confident that a lot of people aren't going to tackle what I'm announcing here today. I don't think people are going to tackle this. And the reason why I say I'm confident in that is because nobody's come forward so far and even gone so far as to create what RTS 1 did. Maybe they had it on Run 8 Depot. I'm not too sure what Run 8 Depot is using, and I'm really not worried about it, because they wouldn't do what I'm about to do. There's no way. I mean, they're Sean and them. They're talented guys. They can do a lot of crazy things, especially from the web end. But this is something that I think is going to change the thing. It's going to change the game. And whether you believe me or you don't, I don't care. Whether I fail or don't, I don't care either. I honestly don't care. That's really it was kind of funny. There was a song. I'll end this very quickly, but there's a lot of different things that got to my mind today, and I just subconsciously made me think about things. And I had a great time today, and I wasn't even thinking. This idea did not come to me until after midnight. It was right around midnight or sometime around then where it really started thinking. It was on the Highway 403, the last hour of that trip. My son was sleeping. The radio, I turned off the radio. But I forget the song, Linkin Park. Nothing Else Matters or something like that. In the end. and nothing really matters. There's, I don't know what the hell, you know, I tried so hard and blah blah blah, and in the end, it doesn't really matter. That's some of the lyrics, and I love that song. Because sometimes, you know, you try so hard, and in the end, it doesn't really matter. That happens sometimes. You give it your all, blah blah blah. But then sometimes you do try, and you keep trying, you keep trying, you keep trying, and maybe it's not going to matter. I don't know. Guess what? That's what life's about, and you know, I don't care. I got nothing to lose, and that's the cool thing. So no, I'm not delirious. I'm totally focused on what I'm doing, and yeah, I'm tired. But right now I'm full of adrenaline. I was tired. I put it this way: I was tired while I was driving. I was, you know, I remember getting on the 401 and I was getting to the 403. It's about a 2-hour drive home, and it's dark, and you know, we've seen our batch of trains, and everything's been great. And you know, I know I'm getting tired because I'm yawning and whatever, and so, you know, to keep my mind focused on the road and everything, I wasn't that tired. Like, I wasn't weaving around or falling asleep or anything like that, I mean. But I knew it was, you know, it's dark, there's no lights, and you're on the 403. The 403 doesn't have any lights to begin with, so it's just like the car lights and 4-lane divided highway heading towards Hamilton. And you know, you start thinking about things, and that's where this whole idea started, thinking about these things. I'll remember the 403 as a very inspiring journey coming back, because you know, sometimes my son and I, we'd have music playing, and you know, we'd just be partying and having fun and keeping ourselves awake by listening to other people's creative abilities in music. And lo and behold, I turned the radio off, which I do quite a bit. Like most times I'm driving to and from work, the radio's off. I don't listen to the radio. I get to think about the job that I have to go to. I get to think about what I'm going to do when I get home. I mean, it's only a 15-minute drive. But when I used to have to go back and forth to Oakville, which is not too far away from Toronto, I did the same thing. If I wasn't listening to traffic, I had a lot of time to think in the car. And yeah, it's amazing what happens when all you do is you have the road and you got time to think, and it's just you. It's just you and your thoughts, and you know, your passions, your ideas, your dreams, and here it is. So it's not going to be. This isn't going to be a major money maker. This isn't going to be mainstream by any stretch of the imagination. And honestly, I don't care. I honestly don't care. If I don't sell 10 copies, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Because what I do here with Run 8 and RTS 2, I'm going to use that to build onto. That is going to just massively increase my confidence to do what I did in that, because it's going to have all those AI components, and I'm going to apply it to the next. You know, and if Run 8 really wants to get good, hopefully they'll understand what I'm trying to do, and maybe that'll make it even more appealing to some people out there for a train simulation. Maybe it'll be appealing enough to be included in Run 8 version 3. Who knows? It's hard to say. Can you imagine that? Having the AI of the trains and having basically the whole world be able to run itself? And AI dispatching is not a big deal. I'm telling you. That should be a cakewalk. We can't even get an external dispatcher to work for the damn thing, which is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I mean, I know some people have lives and issues, but there's some talented people out there, and I don't hear nothing. And, you know, we just wait for news about this and wait for news about this and wait for news about that. I'm tired of waiting for news about things. I just want to make the news. I just want to be able to change things so it's better for me. So anyways, sorry guys for rambling. I'm just excited, so I'm gonna stop now. Anyways, I'll be back tomorrow, probably tomorrow evening. Who knows, maybe I'll live stream some of the coding and show you what I got in mind, some of the ideas, how I want to structure things, and I don't know, we'll see about that. We'll see how that goes, but I'll be back at some point tomorrow. Maybe I won't be. Maybe I'll just do this on my own and play some cool music, and but I'll keep in touch. I'll let you know what's happening. See what happens. Anyways, okay guys, that's it. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. See ya.